what's good, everybody? It's the Storm Podcast. I'm your Secret Santa, Malcolm, and I'm here with my boy.
Frosty the Snowman, know what I'm saying?
You been a little cold today.
Yeah, it's a little cold now.
Yeah, somehow E-Man got locked out of the studio for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why you didn't just go back home, but
You know, it'd be like that.
yeah, I mean,
It's
that's
like that some
that's your
days.
decision. That's how it be.
Yeah.
All right, as y'all saw by the thumbnail, today we are going to be answering the age-old question: can anime be American? What do you think?
Inherently, I feel like, I might be wrong, but I feel like the name anime is Japanese. So
Right, the name anime is Japanese, correct?
so if American people make it, it would just be a cartoon, wouldn't it?
Right.
So I would say no.
So for a long time, I felt as though anime and manga had to come from Japan. And if they did not come from Japan, then it was not anime or manga. It was cartoon or blah, blah, blah or whatever, right?
Yeah.
However, a lot of those anime on Netflix are made in the US.
Yeah. And I would call them anime out of convenience, but they're not, right? Like
Well, what about Tower of God?
that's also not Japanese.
What about Gata High School? Those aren't anime? Gata High School, Tower of God. A lot of the Netflix anime or most of them are produced in America.
In my own personal opinion, I would say that they're anime out of convenience, but like Tower of God, the manga, that's called the manhwa because it's South North Korean. I don't know.
It's Korean.
Yeah, so technically, if an American made anime or something or manga, it would just be a cartoon or a comic, wouldn't it?
I used to think like that, but I don't know if I agree with that anymore.
I
Because,
think it would have to be a cartoon or a comic.
I don't think I feel that way. I think now I lean more toward the sides of anime is more of an art style and it's more of a genre and it's not particularly where it comes from because I think there are a lot of things that have that anime style, that have the anime vibes, the anime tropes, all of that that just didn't happen to be produced in Japan that are still anime. Think about it. My boy Dom from Namiware. He has 2 manga. He's American, and those are as manga as it gets. Sterling from D Spirits. D Spirits has a manga. Sterling is American, but when you pick that up, that is a manga.
I feel like if I were to make a anime or manga as an American, but made it look as Japanese as possible, and then Japanese people took it over, it would still be a cartoon. So
I don't think so.
if Teen Titans, they have Japanese versions, but that's still a cartoon, even though it looks just about exactly like.
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's not anime style. It has parts of it that have anime, but for the most part, that's not anime style.
I feel like they have. I mean, yeah, it's
That's
more
not anime
cartoony.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
more of a
cartoony.
cartoon. But if it was in that anime style, that's anime.
I mean, like Cyberpunk. I feel like that looks anime.
Exactly.
I wouldn't call that an anime. That's a cartoon. But
Cyberpunk is an anime. So you talk about the Edge Runners?
yeah, I feel like it should be an anime.
And first off, it was Heat.
I'm
but
pretty sure it takes. Well, it doesn't take place in Japan
I
because
think it.
well, it's a whole different city. It's like Night City or something like that. Like it's a whole
But
different.
I think it's where Japan used to be.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
if it was supposed to take place in Japan, but it's like an American thing, I don't think if they did it in Japanese, it would be an anime. I feel like it would still be a cartoon.
Nah, that's an anime. That's an anime.
I
That
don't
might
know.
even have been made in Japan for all I know.
Yeah,
Actually,
it
or
might.
maybe
Be. I don't think it was Netflix. Well, they could still do it in
Yeah,
Japan.
I mean, they still
Yeah.
might have had an animation studio in Japan do it.
Yeah.
But that's an anime. Whether it was made in Japan or wherever, that is an anime.
As-
Edge Runners is an anime.
As much as I feel like it is, I just don't think it is.
I think you're. I feel like people be too stuck on where it came from specifically, and I think it matters more what the vibe is. I think if it has anime art style, if it has anime tropes, if it has every single thing an anime has, if I didn't tell you where this came from, you would believe this is an anime, then what does it matter? That's an anime. If it walks like an anime and it looks like an anime and quacks like an anime, it's an anime.
I don't know, cause I feel like it does matter where it came from. I feel like
Why
that
though?
is. I just feel like that's just what it is. Like I feel like
Okay,
it just matters where it came from.
but if I get my let me think of something. If I get an orange from a different country, nigga, it's still an orange.
Yes,
If
but
I get Swiss cheese, if I make Swiss cheese in my crib today, it's still Swiss cheese. Yes, it did not come from Switzerland, but it's still Swiss cheese.
yeah,
It's not American cheese now.
you took some of the Swiss out of it though. You know, like nah, like real talk though. Like if I pull up with a packaged Swiss cheese, you not like if a Swedish person walked up, they'd be like, "Bro, it's Swiss cheese, but that ain't Swiss
but if you
cheese."
can't tell the difference, just because it wasn't made in Switzerland,
There's something about the delivery too. Like the anime, the delivery is different. With that cheese, that package, the delivery is different.
but how is the delivery any different? It just comes from a different place.
I
The
don't know.
delivery is the same.
I feel like if I pulled up with the cheese that we have at the house, it was like pulled up to a Swedish person from Sweden, like in Switzerland. It was like,
Yeah,
This
did you
is-
say Sweden?
yeah. I fucked up. In Switzerland, it was like, yo, this is Swiss cheese. And he looked at it, he'd be like, that's not Swiss cheese though.
There's no. I'm saying if it is identical, it just happened to not come from Switzerland, that shit still Swiss cheese. If a French nigga left France, came to America, and taught some Americans how to make baguettes, and them niggas make baguettes just as good as everybody else, nigga, that bitch is still a baguette.
Yeah, but it's like it feels different in the delivery of anime. Like maybe I just haven't seen a good enough American anime, but it don't feel like anime.
Nah, that bitch a baguette, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
The
I
anime
don't-
is an anime, the baguette's a baguette, all that.
I feel like literally and figuratively, it's just not an anime.
Yeah, no, I think you're tweaking, but I think you're tweaking.
I don't know what it feels like. It's the delivery. Like in American, it don't be feeling like I'm watching. Maybe because it's not in Japanese half the time, but it don't feel like I'm watching an anime, which is fine because I'm watching a cartoon, which I still like, but it just don't feel like I'm watching an anime.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If a Japanese nigga made a cartoon, is it not a cartoon no more? It's still a cartoon, right?
That's kind of different
No, it's not.
because in my eyes, maybe I'm wrong. An anime is like a type of cartoon, but a
Right.
cartoon isn't a type of anime.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like, yes, and all anime is cartoon already.
Yeah.
So like, even if they did it in the traditional, like American art style, it's a cartoon no matter what.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Yeah, no, I don't have a counter argument to that.
Yeah. So I think that the Japanese can make cartoons, but Americans can't really make manga.
I feel like it is the style, it is the tropes, it is the story that makes it anime. I don't think that the location particularly matters. I think we get too locked up in that location and it's still an anime.
I
Swiss
think-
cheese made in America is still Swiss cheese. It was made somewhere else, but that bitch still Swiss.
I think that location and delivery are still have a big part, and if it's just not an anime, that's cool, but it's just not an anime. You made a cartoon, which is awesome, but it ain't an anime.
Hey, all I'm
Edge
saying is
Runners, amazing. It don't feel like anime to me.
all I'm saying is if me and my girlfriend moved to Japan and had a kid, just because that kid was had in Asia and not in America, that don't make that nigga not like he's not Asian, bro.
Yes, that's
The
different.
location don't matter.
I feel like that's totally different.
It's
'cause
the roots.
Okay, so you're saying he's not Asian.
Yeah.
So if he grew up his entire life in Asia, spoke
Okay, no. Like I'm saying, he's not like biologically Asian. He's like, he's not genetically Asian. He's
yeah. He's not genetically Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the genetics of the like you don't have to. It has to like be Japanese to be anime or manga.
Hey, my final statement is: if I make Swiss cheese in America, that bitch still Swiss cheese. If I make anime in America, that bitch still anime.
No, I think you made American Swiss cheese. I think you
I
made
made American
Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese.
Yes, but
so I can make American anime.
Yeah, but it's not like anime.
Ain't no but like.
But it's not anime.
It is.
It's a American anime is cartoon basically. Like in my eyes.
Nah.
You made cheese. You made American Swiss cheese because there's no name for it.
An American made Swiss cheese.
Yeah, but there's no name for it.
But it's still Swiss cheese. Yeah, there is a name for it. Swiss cheese. An American made Swiss cheese, and an American made an anime.
You made cheese.
I made Swiss cheese.
So
you telling me that if I pulled up on you with some Swiss cheese and I made it, now it's just cheese? If I was like, what type of cheese is, you'd be like, nigga, cheese. Yeah, I don't know what kind of cheese. You're going to take a bite and be like, good
but I
Swiss
feel like
cheese.
if you had authentic Swiss cheese and then you saw the cheese in the fridge, you'd be like, this ain't Swiss cheese.
But I'm saying if the shit is authentic.
It don't feel authentic though. Like,
nigga, you can't tell if I don't tell you. If I don't tell you I made the cheese, nigga, you would think a
Swedish person.
No, not Swedish.
Sweden?
No. Switzerland. But what is a person from Switzerland
Swedish.
called? No, that's Sweden. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
All right, I think I've got my point across.
I feel like it has to be.
Switzerland and Sweden are two different countries.
But they have to have the same like name.
Why on earth would they?
Because you're in maybe it's Swedish and Swedish. Maybe those are two different things.
But where are you getting the sweet? Like, it's Switzerland.
But you can't be Switzin, like.
Thank y'all so much for watching this episode. We appreciate y'all. It's been a very good Podsmas, man. Clearly, Eman needs to go check out a map. And Merry Podsmas, and we will catch you next time.
Happy holidays, ho ho homies.
We out.